Holy hell, that stock's up 2,356%. What is the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Hold Sell. I hope, of course, you are all well. Hopefully the wind's not too bad. There's a nice light breeze. Enjoying the weather that we have here. Today's video is actually something that we talked about in the Discord. I've picked my stocks years ago, so I haven't really added to my portfolio, especially because we're in a bear market now. So today's video really is just going to be a look at what I, at a high level, will look for in a company. These are like fundamentally the things that if your growth company does not have this, it's probably not worthwhile investing in. Straight away, if it's a high PE ratio, this is the checklist for me that I will look down to see if they're ticking these boxes to justify a high PE ratio. Right now, PE ratios, because of the bear market, aren't too bad, but normally speaking, they could be quite high, especially in that recent bull run. They were very, very high. A lot of companies, to me, were well overpriced, hence why we've had such a ferocious pullback. So look at the PE ratio initially and go, right, where we're sitting. If it looks good, move on. If it's very, very high, do this check to understand why. First one then is revenue growth of 20% or more. For me, a growth company has to be delivering more than 20% a year on year. If it's not, then to me, I would avoid it. And we will go through examples of companies that are hitting these milestones at the end. The second point is, has the earnings increased year on year? Growth company has to be improving year on year, otherwise it is not a growth, it is not growing. Does the company have a strong balance sheet now? And balance sheet is obviously very, very important, especially in the current climate. If a balance sheet is weak and they don't have much cash, they could go bust. Can a company that you're invested in weather through the rough times? They need cash on the hip, so it needs to have a strong balance sheet. Does the company have positive free cash flow? It's very, very important that they're in the green. If they're red, then they're hemorrhaging money. So does it have a positive cash flow? Criteria 5 then has got to be growth. Is there still room for growth or expansion plans? Apple, you think about it, haven't just stopped at phones. They've done Macs, they've done iPads, earbuds, subscription packages, TV. It just continues to grow and add, and all the big stocks, FANG stocks, the biggest market cap stocks in the world, all do it. Microsoft didn't stop at computers. They went into gaming, cloud surfing. All of these things have just add, grow bigger. Number 6, have they been able to duplicate this? It's all well and good being growth and growing, but if you're only in California, can you move to another city, different country? Can this continue to grow? And the final point, 7, and this is the key one for me, is your company producing something that is reusable, or is it a service that will continue on? There is no point providing everybody with one item and then that is it, case closed. Where's the growth there? So you want a company that's ordering a subscription, for example, the likes of a Netflix, a Disney subscription, something that people will buy and continue to pay for a long time. Or it's something that's reusable, for example, consumer products, Mars bars, beans, whatever. People are going to continue to keep buying these things. So now that we've went over the 7 criteria, I'm going to look at 2 stocks. The first one is going to be Tesla, my favorite stock. Now we'll have a look at some of the PE ratios here. As you can see, that is a large PE ratio, but it's justified. Let's go down our criteria. Is revenue growth over 20%? Yes. Has the earnings increased year on year? Yes. Does the company have a strong balance sheet? Yes. Positive free cash? Yes. Is there still room for growth and expansion? Hell yeah. We have robots and we have solar panels, we have subscription packages for their cars, we have insurance, we have all of these things that will add on, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on the reasons you should get even more excited about Tesla outside of just cars. I'm not going to talk about the cars. I have 4 massive things that Tesla's going to be bringing. If you're interested in that video, make sure to like, subscribe, help me grow the channel, but also hit the alert button to stay up to date for that video. Has the company duplicated itself in different countries? Berlin, Shanghai, and the list will be continuing to go on. Of course, yes. Are they producing something that's reusable? Well, yes, because you're getting tied into a Tesla contract. Most people usually renew, and the only way to renew a Tesla would be going through them. So that is one thing. But then the insurances, they also have the full self-driving subscriptions. They will have all of these things, and I would imagine the robots and the solar will all have similar things down the road as well. So there is plenty of things there that bring the customer back. But obviously the cars is huge. The next stock I want to look at is Argo blockchain. Has it got revenue growth over 20%? Yes. 2,356. God damn. Earnings increased? Yes. Does the company have a strong balance sheet? Yes, it does. And we recently had information from the Argo team, Peter Wall, confirming that with the assets of Bitcoin, which is very, very strong, in worst case, and I mean the worst case scenario, they would have those assets to sell to fund any issues if this market gets worse. And it does have cash flow to be able to deal with these things as well. Is there still room for growth? Absolutely. The crypto space is only starting, in my opinion. There is plenty of room for growth. They are invested in different companies, Argo Labs, all these things that they're doing. Pluto, the list goes on. I'll share the link to my Pluto video where it talks about the different elements here of growth, but there is a lot of different things feeding into the Argo beast. Has the company been able to duplicate itself in a different country? Well, it has. It started off in Quebec and now we are currently in Texas. And is the company reusable? Well, yes, it is reusable, because Bitcoin, as I've done in my previous video, and I'll share a link also to that, where you can go in and watch the life expectancy of Bitcoin. But trust me, we will all be dead and buried by the time Bitcoin's finally mined. So that is one avenue that will continue to grow, and they will be able to continue mining. But they also are doing the transaction fees and all of that. If you believe in the crypto space, it has a longevity of many, many decades. So that's the two companies. That is the check. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense to you, and how easy it is just to go on the market watch and do these at a very high level. It's more of a sanity check. It's more to give you a rough steer. Obviously there's other things to this. It's just in general, what about the industry? Is the industry proven to grow? Well, I think Tesla and crypto is going to grow, so that ticks those boxes there. But I would always look at that. How's the industry? Another reason why I'm in lithium plays, which on the flip side aren't making much money, but I think I'm way ahead of the time there. So again, I'm looking at things like strong leadership. What is the leaders like? I like Coda Minerals and, for example, Premier African Minerals. The two CEOs, I believe, are putting their money where their mouth are, because they are both earning shares instead of wages. I like that. I think that shows strong leadership, that they're willing to go, I don't want a wage, I will earn shares, so because I'm going to prove to you that this company is worth whatever it's going to be worth. So I like that. That to me is strong leadership and delivering on their goals. What is their market share? Is there a space for them? Is it populated? Is it saturated? Things like the mobile phone game would be very hard for a player now to come in and really take over the mobile phone game as in terms of a sector. So that would be something you go, you know, is there space? Well, the lithium's only starting. We have shortages, so yes, there's a space for that. Crypto's only really starting, so the target market's fine. So these are the kind of checks you need to do, but don't worry if not everything ticks these boxes. If you like the company, maybe 5 out of the 7, you can still do that. Don't worry if your company's not making great revenue or maybe is in a bit of a loss. You could look at it and go, well, what's the plans? Are they spending a lot of money on advertising? Things like that. If they are, then that could maybe justify the reason for their balance sheet not being particularly great. So there is a lot more to it, but this is the high level check that I would do. And if you're interested in more videos, please like and subscribe, help me grow this channel. I appreciate everybody that does do that. Get into the Discord. Like I said, we're doing some great things, great topics in the Discord. There's also the trading link down there, doing some great stuff on all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I check out this video on how to become a millionaire next. If that is something that you're interested in, I see you all then, guys. Peace.